Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by Achara Kirk.
What's up?
And we're looking at WandaVision pitch meeting from Screen Rant. Thank you, Screen Rant, for allowing us to react to this. Very excited to look at it. Liked WandaVision a lot. Very excited for all that's to come in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and making fun of it at the same time. So, here we go. WandaVision pitch meeting.
So, you have a new Marvel project for me?
Yes, sir, I do. I figure we can make a Marvel TV show for Disney+.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking we could make a show about Wanda and Vision.
I don't know if you saw the last couple episodes of the MCU, but Vision is very dead.
I know, that's gonna be part of the intrigue.
Okay, so what's going on in this show anyway?
It's gonna be like a 1950s black and white sitcom starring Wanda and Vision, right?
Oh, what the heck are you talking
And
about?
they're just going about their 1950s lives, you know, dinner with the boss and those kinds of classic sitcom situations.
Are you sure you've seen the MCU before? Because this isn't remotely, that doesn't resemble anything we do at all.
No, I know.
Okay, what is happening?
So then we're gonna start to see that things get a little weird sometimes, you know? Sometimes they can't remember how they got to places, there's some weird stuff showing up.
Oh, what the heck is that about? Please tell me now.
Yeah, there's like a super weird moment with the boss, there's a beekeeper that comes out of the sewer.
Okay.
What's going on, you okay?
I'm not used to slow-moving intrigue, so I'm not sure what to do with myself.
Understandable, sir, but this is a weekly release schedule, right? So we're gonna spread out the reveals and really make people hate the words "please stand by."
Okay, but what's with all the weird stuff, though?
Please stand by.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's also
thank
gonna
God.
be this nosy neighbor character, Agnes, right? And she's a little mysterious, you know, something's going on with her.
Agnes, huh?
What are you doing?
Is she Agatha Harkness?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, great. Got it.
That's kind of supposed to be a reveal later.
Well, listen, if you give people some downtime, they're gonna theorize. That's just how it works.
I'm gonna make you pay for that.
What?
And then the show starts jumping through the decades every episode, and Wanda gives birth to twins.
Oh, very weird. I don't know what to make of all this random weirdness.
And there's this woman in there, and she seems to remember who Wanda is and that Ultron killed her brother.
Oh, okay, here we go.
And so Wanda gets mad, and she sends her outside of this big magical hex dome that's going on.
And so what's that all about?
Well, it turns out that Wanda's taken over this town called Westview with this magical hex thing, and she's broadcasting it.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Sword Agency, they're keeping an eye on things, you know, watching the broadcasts.
Nice, okay, things making a bit of sense now.
And there's this guy, Director Hayward, running the show. There's gonna be Darcy from Thor there. There's Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man.
Oh, Jimmy, what's going on with Jimmy?
Oh, well, he's gotten really good at that close-up magic stuff.
Oh, I didn't even know I was rooting for that outcome, but I am intensely proud of him.
So am I, sir. So him and Darcy are basically gonna behave as the audience will at home, just kind of watching WandaVision, trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
It turns out that woman was a grown-up Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel, and she keeps mentioning this aerospace engineer that she knows.
Aerospace engineer, Reed Richards, Fantastic Four?
Certainly seems like I'm teasing something like that, doesn't it?
It does. Oh, this is very exciting.
Yeah, you like that, huh? You big dummy.
What?
In the same episode, we're gonna have Pietro Maximoff show up.
Oh, but he's dead.
He is, but he's gonna come back, and I figure this time Evan Peters could play
But he
him.
played Quicksilver in the Fox X-Men movies.
That's right, sir, he did. Let that blow your mind for a minute.
Oh my god, what does this mean? What are the implications? Is the multiverse open? Are the X-Men on their way?
Please stand by.
What? No. Oh, please stop torturing me like this.
Please stand by.
Wow, okay, yeah, people are gonna hate those words, aren't they?
Oh, most definitely.
Hey, is he secretly Mephisto? Are the twins secretly Mephisto? Am I secretly Mephisto?
Maybe. So then eventually we're gonna reveal that Agnes lady was actually an evil witch this whole time, and her name is Agatha Harkness.
Yeah, I figured that one out.
You did. So she's gonna have this little theme song explaining that she was evil the whole time. It's gonna be called Agatha All Along.
Oh, okay.
And it's just gonna be so frickin' so good, sir. Just the catchiest song.
Oh, okay, you think people are gonna like it? That's cool.
Oh yes, sir. People are gonna love it. It's gonna be about how she was pulling all the evil strings all along.
Nice.
How she killed a dog.
Oh my god.
So then Agatha's gonna be like, okay, I would like to know how you got your power, so let's go look at all your trauma for a little bit.
Very inconsiderate.
For sure. So we're gonna see her and her family back in Sokovia when she was a kid.
Okay.
And turns out she used to watch a bunch of sitcoms, and that's what inspired her grief dome of different sitcom eras.
Oh.
Her dad had all these DVDs like the Dick Van Dyke Show, Bewitched, Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle with Bryan Cranston?
That's right.
Bryan Cranston from Godzilla?
That's the one.
Godzilla with Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson?
That's the, oh dang it.
What is that? How does that, what is that?
Right, okay, so that's an Easter egg.
Oh, okay, I got a ton of questions about the implications of that Easter egg.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about the fact that Marvel actors act in other things sometimes.
Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing.
Anyway, so at the end of that episode, Agatha's gonna be like, this is chaos magic, Wanda, and that makes you the Scarlet Witch.
That's the name of the character.
Yeah, we're gonna make people cheer for something they already knew.
Yeah, they knew, but it hadn't been said out loud.
And we're gonna say it out loud.
Oh, saying things people already know out loud is tight.
I know.
I know you know.
Nice, okay, so then Sword is gonna manage to make this white Vision and send him inside the Hex to kill Vision.
Oh boy, so they're gonna fight?
They are gonna fight, sir. Turns out this weird conceptual show is gonna end with a big CGI battle, just like Marvel movies.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, so they're gonna go head to head. It's gonna be very cool.
Wow, it's gonna be tough for Hex Vision to defeat himself.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he hits him with some philosophical questions, and so White Vision is like, huh.
Oh.
Yeah, then he gives him his memories, and White Vision is like, okay, I'm Vision now, bye.
Wait, where does he go?
Off into the MCU until we need him for something.
Okay, so this way we'll be able to kill Vision without killing Vision.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that death isn't permanent. It's just like in real life.
That's not accurate. Oh, also, Monica has powers now from going in and out of the Hex, and she uses them to stop Hayward from shooting the twins.
He was gonna shoot some children?
Well, technically, they're not real children, but yeah, Hayward's just gonna become a cartoonishly evil guy in the last episode. That's gonna be his thing.
Wow, yeah.
So then Wanda's gonna have this big showdown with Agatha, and Agatha's gonna show her that she's been a straight-up mental terrorist to the people of Westview.
Oh, that's not good.
And then they're gonna have this big battle with a bunch of different colored beams and a sky beam, just like the end of a Marvel movie.
Wow, 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 wow.
And Wanda's gonna manage to defeat Agatha by putting these big runes on the side of the Hex, which means that only she can do magic in that area.
Oh, how did she know how to do that?
Well, Agatha mentioned that while she was monologuing.
Oh, it's super helpful when villains start monologuing. Didn't The Incredibles make fun of that?
Yeah, that movie did make fun of villains doing that. Fun fact, we're gonna reference The Incredibles a couple of times.
But we're still gonna do the thing it was making fun of.
Exactly. So then Wanda gives herself some new clothes and then traps Agatha in her own mind as a nosy neighbor forever, which I'm sure is a fate worse than death.
Absolutely, that's deeply horrifying, and it gets worse the more you think about it.
It sure does, sir. And then Wanda's gonna have to say goodbye to her twins, but probably not for long, and to Vision, but probably not for long.
Very sad, but probably not for long.
And then as Wanda's walking out of Westview, all the citizens are giving her dirty looks, and Monica's gonna be like, they have no idea what you sacrificed for them.
She mentally tortured them for an extended period of time and probably scarred them for life.
Yeah, but she had to say goodbye to her imaginary friends, so it balances out.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's about it. What do you think?
Well, wait, what about Evan Peters as Quicksilver? What was that all about?
Oh, yeah, it turns out he was just a guy named Boner.
Boner?
Ralph Boner, yeah, that whole thing was a setup for a boner joke.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll teach people to theorize.
What about Mephisto or Reed Richards? Does Doctor Strange have a cameo? He must have sensed all this going on. Oh, a very painful fart noise.
Yeah, so then we're gonna vaguely tease some upcoming projects and we're out.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, and by the way, I thought it might be fun to release that Agatha All Along song online. People are really gonna like that.
I mean, if people really respond to it, we can release it, I guess, but people aren't gonna freak out over a song where a witch kills a dog.
That thing that he said in the beginning about it being a slow burn was definitely something that you were feeling. Yeah. It's true. It is different because it was just like, okay, we're just gonna stretch this out over some time and let you guys like get into it and kind of have questions and want to tease you.
I thought he was going to go in on like the very nature of what was going on, like why is this being broadcast? What was the purpose? What did that serve? He didn't bring that up in here, which was a little surprising to me because that would have been one of the first things I'd have like kind of hooked into, like what does this serve? Because it's really
like
just
why would she be broadcasting anyway if it's just of her little world and her grief and all that?
It's really only for the benefit of the audience. It doesn't really mean anything to the characters per se. Like I can understand her creating this world where it feels like a TV show, but the next step of it being broadcast so that people outside of the Hex can see it and know what's happening seems a little arbitrary. And it's like, yeah, it's fun. I liked it for the show, but I also simultaneously question it and like don't see how that really benefits anything other than, by the way, you have these like goofy things that you can show the characters outside of the hex.
Right.
Because it would have been just as effective and weird if you were able to get a spy satellite in there somehow to sort of see what was going on. They've sort of wrote reasons why that wasn't possible, but come on. So, like, you could easily not have that. The slow burn thing, I try not to look at it as them stretching it out. It's not like Disney's bound to any sort of parameters. It's not like they have to adhere to Amazon or to YouTube or to whatever. It's their own thing. So if they wanted to just do 5 episodes and that's a season, just like in London, that's a season, or England.
Yeah.
You know, that's a season. They could get away with that and people would watch it all the same. I think that what they did was what they wanted to do. The creators of the show wanted to invite you back into bygone eras so that you can experience that again through this show, which has largely been punch explosions.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love the films and whatnot. I haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all, but and I watched all the Netflix shows, particularly big fan of Daredevil, so I like a lot of what they do, but like he was sort of making fun of, it's a lot of action, and so to slow everything down into this, you know, sitcom format was bold and interesting, but it did challenge me. I did find it difficult sometimes. I'm like, I get it. I get the conceit of the show. Can we get to the plot? And so it was difficult sometimes. And then, you know, the episode would almost feel like it was ending before it would begin sometimes. I'm like, what do you mean, please stand by?
Right.
Like, you know, I wasn't so much frustrated, but excited when I was watching it. Like, oh, I gotta wait another week to catch up, you know, on the next Batman episode, you know.
Same bat time.
Yeah,
same bat channel.
Yeah, like, there's just those cliffhangers were strong in my opinion. They did a good job. Even in the, you know, former episodes when I was getting frustrated, I'm like, they're still doing really good with these cliffhangers because something weird is always happening right at the end to keep you coming back like 24. I liked what he was talking about. I thought that a lot of this was more explanatory than it was making fun of the show.
Well, maybe it's like one of those things where, remember when we talked to him and he was like, you know, it was actually really hard to do one for Wonder Woman, the first one, because it was actually a really great film. And so I think that the show was really great. And so maybe it is just a little bit harder to really make fun of it. And then also there's that whole element of like her going through grief and all that. And it was done really well. And it was, you know, it really touched you, or at least it really touched me. And, you know, grief is something that I guess we all go through it at some point in our lives. And it's not really something that's really easy to make fun of because it's like, it's not really nice. I
mean, he called out some of the things that were a little bit contrived, like, they don't know what you sacrificed. And it's like, you had them in prison.
Yeah.
like, come on.
You had them in a mental prison for a long time.
Well, and which is arguably worse than actual prison. Because you're trapped in your head, like an awake coma. This is pretty frightening.
It's pretty horrifying. And there were definitely moments in the show where it felt like a horror film.
Yeah.
You know, and that was kind of fun too, is like they got a chance to kind of play around with different genres, because there they are, it's like, oh, we're doing the sitcom thing, but then there's like this weird element of like mystery and horror, and then you've got the action and the superhero stuff as well. So it was really cool.
I thought the action was, I mean, he was making fun of the action, but I think in fairness to the show, I think the action was quite limited. Like even the climactic ending of the show was like, it ended before it began for me. Like it was so quick. We jumped to the Ship of Theseus conversation almost within minutes of the fight.
Yeah, you're like, what?
And I'm like, come on, I actually wanted more of that action personally. And then I thought it was actually pretty clever. I mean, maybe a lot of people could see it coming from a mile away with the setup in the previous episode with the symbols on the wall to limit, who's allowed to use powers in that room. I thought that was clever because I didn't know what the hell Wanda was doing. I knew she was doing something, I just didn't know what.
Well, I think that the funny thing is that, it's always like this in movies where you literally see something for a second and then you're like, now I know how to do it. But in real life, I don't think I could have memorized all those symbols and the locations of them and like how it's supposed to be. I imagine spell casting to be something quite, it's something that you need to learn. I mean, Harry Potter and co. had to go to school for years. And Wanda comes along and she's all like, I saw it on the wall, I can do. Like,
right.
But I mean, it's just a conceit.
I guess I kind of look at it like Luke Skywalker or Rey Palpatine. You know, it's just like they're just some kind of inborn thing.
Yeah.
Because she didn't train. You know, it was just there, and she's like, "Oh, got it, Michael Jordan in this shit," and you know, and she's gonna pull it off. I mean, no, like that's sort of reducing what Michael Jordan's efforts have been to become Michael Jordan. I apologize, but y'all know what I mean. Like
Well, there's natural talent there.
Yeah, she slam dunked it after paying attention. It was almost like Sherlock Holmes. You didn't realize she was paying attention, but she was, and I thought that was actually clever. The bigger thing that I enjoyed about this pitch meeting were things that I wasn't actually aware of because I wasn't paying attention on purpose, which was all the surrounding hubbub, regarding the show, all the theories and whatnot. Like, I completely ignored that. I just wanted to take the show for what it was. And I guess a lot of people already figured out who was the bad guy, but I didn't. And so it caught me off guard a little bit.
Yeah, no, it caught me off guard too. I had seen some of the chit chat on the web and all, but I'd just rather see what story they were trying to tell us. But I know it can be also super fun to be on the other side and going, what if it's this? What if it's that? Like, I've been that person too.
I did feel what he was talking about here, and I guess what Ryan George is doing is also sort of giving the collective feeling that a lot of people feel. Mm-hmm. In particular, Quicksilver. It's like, hold on. So all that was for a boner joke? Like, that's what this amounted to?
I didn't even really think about that in the moment, but looking back, it's like, that was kind of disappointing because Evan Peters, I love Evan Peters, and Evan Peters as Quicksilver in the X-Men movies was awesome. Yeah. And then to have him come in the show was a really lovely surprise, but then to have it all boil down to
be reduced to
he was
a boner joke.
He was literally just this random actor that Agatha got.
And that lived in this small town.
Yeah.
Why would actors live there? But sure.
Yeah, and then his name is Ralph Boner. Yeah. Like, oh, did you really have to do that? Yeah. It wasn't necessary.
That was a cheap move, I felt, and so I'm glad he pointed that out. Overall, back to what you're saying, to bring it full circle, this is hard to do, right? Yeah. You're making fun of a show that is, for all intents and purposes, pretty airtight. I mean, obviously there's flaws that we can point out, and there are things that I wish were different, but it's still a strong show. And if it's the only season, overall, that was a strong run. That was really, really cool.
It was really good.
I liked it overall. And
it's a very welcome addition to the MCU. Yeah. Filling in gaps, carrying some story forward, moving it ahead to the next phase. And it was done really well.
Right. He said something that people have told me I'm wrong about in the comments.
What?
He said that fake Vision gave real Vision his memories. What a lot of people told me in the comments was, no, fake Vision unlocked real Vision's memories that were already there. And I'm like,
oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's right.
Where are those stored? And someone had said something about it being in the vibranium. I was confused.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, anyway. I totally buy that. I mean, even as humans, we store memories within, it's gut. Muscle memory. In our gut, in our being.
It's too much.
It's getting esoteric now. Anyway.
You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And make sure to subscribe to Screen Rant, as well as Ryan George's personal YouTube channel, where he does a lot of other really fun comedy that you guys would enjoy. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.